At this time, we will hear from the valedictorian for the Master of Divinity class. Following uh, Reverend Kelly Waters will be the young lady that had the best thesis for the Master of Divinity degree, Reverend Janine Latta, and following her will be the person with the most outstanding doctoral project, Reverend Dr. James Williams. We will hear them at this time. Also, the students that had the best masters and the best doctoral project will receive $500 as a gift.
Protocol having fully been established. Good morning to all those assembled and to my extraordinary fellow graduates. We made it. Today we gather on holy ground, not because of the building that shelters us or the courses that have shaped us, but because of the transformation that has been ignited in us and the passion that drives us. Like Bishop Wicker said, this is not merely a commencement, a commissioning, or a ceremony, but this is a consecration. Because when heaven calls ordinary people into sacred service, it never leaves us as it found us. We arrived here carrying different books, different burdens, different ambitions, different beliefs, different hopes, different wounds, different scars, different testimonies, and with different questions. And somewhere between the lectures and the late nights, the papers and the prayers, between the unknown and the ache of becoming, between the calling and courage, something sacred happened. We were not merely educated, we were awakened. Seminary did not just teach us theology, but it taught us endurance. There were seasons in this journey where the illusion of certainty taught us that faith is not the absence of doubt, but the presence of tenacity to keep seeking God in the midst of it. It teaches us that calling is not a crown we wear, but a cross we bear with tenderness, humility, love, and grace. There were moments that we poured in, and there were moments when we felt poured out completely. When the suffering of the world felt too immense, when our hearts felt too weary, when the weight of leadership seemed unbearable, yet even there was God. Not in the theatrics of proximity, but in the whispers of intimacy. And that is what makes this moment so profound for us even now. For we did not just survive this journey by brilliance and determination alone, but we survived it by grace. To my classmates, you have run your race and you have finished your course. I've watched you wrestle honestly with scripture, with justice, with grief, and even with yourselves. I've watched you choose compassion when cynicism would have been easier. I've watched you become people who do not simply preach about light, but believers who carry it. The world we are entering is fractured by division, exhausted by violence, and starving for authenticity and true meaning. And yet I believe with my whole being that we were called for such a time as this. Not to dominate, not to perform holies, but to embody it. To become living reminders that mercy is still powerful, that dignity still belongs to every human being, and that love is still the closest thing we have to the voice of God on this earth. So as we leave this sacred chapter behind, and as we forge forward, may we never forget ministry is not found only in pulpits, sanctuaries, and titles, It is found wherever a wounded heart is met with compassion, whenever truth is spoken to power, whenever human beings are reminded that they are seen, known, and deeply loved. Ministry is found when we show up in the full volumes of the book that bear our name, not only to convict, but to convince. Class of 2026, we walk forward not as people who have arrived, but as people willing to be continually transformed. Congratulations, my friends. May we go forth carrying not only knowledge, but wisdom, not only faith, but fire. And may the lives we touch become the most powerful and impactful sermons that we ever preach. As we commence this victory lap, remember, y'all did that.